Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing? In today's video, we're going to talk about all of the makeup products that I have been loving for the month of May. I have some really great favorites here that I'm excited to share with you. Products that I have just been reaching for over and over again. And honestly, a lot of them are a little bit newer to my collection, I will say that. But I do have one thing that's been out for a while, and some of these products are just, they're not new to the market, they're new to me kind of vibes, but hopefully you enjoy the video nonetheless. Let's go ahead and jump on in. All right, y'all, so you already know I have been obsessed with blush, so of course I have two blush favorites. So one I've been using for, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 months now. This is the ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Prairie Air. It's such a beautiful true pink blush, and I have honestly bought several things similar to this, but this one just seems to stand out because it is super affordable. It does exactly what I want it to on my cheeks. It builds up really nice, it's smooth, it's blendable. It's just a really pretty pinky blush. And ColourPop does have a bunch of shades in this line, so like if this is not your shade, your tone, I do think that the formula is nice, very easy to work with. And then the other blush that I have been obsessed with is from Huda Beauty, and I actually have two favorites here from Huda Beauty, which I thought was kind of funny because I haven't really tried many things from the brand. I think I've only tried 3 products, but I've been really loving the things that I have bought. So this is their Cheeky Tint Blush Stick in the shade Proud Pink, and it is so nice. It's what I have on my cheeks today. It just adds a really beautiful glowy pinky blushing moment, and it does have like a slight golden sheen through it, but it's just perfect. So there's what it looks like swatched out. You can see it has a stunning glow, it's pigmented. It's a formula that I feel is super easy to work with, and I've just been reaching for over and over again. Especially if you like stick products, this is just too easy. And I don't know what it is about the name Proud Pink. It makes me think of the Proud family. Every time I say Proud Pink, that's what it makes me think of, so I love it. Before we move on from the blush category, I also have a blushing highlighter. That's what Too Faced is calling it. So this is the shade Pinker Times Ahead. It's a cheek popper blushing highlighter, and it does have Pinker Times Ahead stamped in it, but it's kind of getting harder to see the more I use it, but I think it's so cute. It's giving girly. It's just a really beautiful, true pink highlighter. So there's what it looks like. The reason I really love this is because I have it on my cheeks today. I feel like it adds a beautiful glow, but it keeps that pink, because I've definitely had pink highlighters where when you apply them to the cheeks, like maybe there's a tiny bit of a tint, but mostly it's just a white highlight. But this, I feel like you can still see the pink, and it works so perfectly with the pink blushes I've been reaching for. Since I already mentioned it, we may as well talk about the other product I have from Huda Beauty. This is the Glowish Bronzer in the shade Soft Radiance 01 Light. Oh wait, no, this shade is not Soft Radiance, it's just the name. So this bronzer, when it came out, I saw so many good reviews, but I just was not sure if it would work for me. I thought that it might have been a little bit too deep, but luckily my friend Amanda, Makeup Just for Fun, we were doing our makeup together, and I was like, do you care if I just dip my brush in yours? And I tried it, and I thought it was so beautiful, so I went ahead and purchased it myself. And I will say that this bronzer just blends like a dream. It says it's like a soft radiant bronzer, but I feel like, I don't know, that's just one of those names that they give products that sound nice, but like doesn't actually mean anything. Like it doesn't have any glow to it. I feel like it just looks pretty matte on the skin, but it blends in really nicely. Like it looks natural. It's not super creamy to the touch when you swatch it, but it picks up really well with the brush. And I also feel like the tone is not super orangey by any means. So it looks really good. It looks natural on the skin, blends, it does what it needs to do. And it's just been like my go-to bronzer. I've just been reaching for it a ton. Every time I'm going for powder bronzer, at least. My cream bronzer go-to has been Power Boost from Rare Beauty, which is what I have on my face today. I've talked about this so many times. I don't know that I need to talk about it again, but here I am. I may as well swatch it. Here is Power Boost. It looks very intense, but I'm telling you guys, if you haven't tried the Rare Beauty bronzer sticks, they are so creamy. They blend so nicely. Like, look at that. Like, you cannot beat that. It is a little bit more on the warm side, definitely warmer than the Huda Beauty bronzer, but it just blends so nicely. I would pay very good money if Rare Beauty would come out with blush sticks in this formula. I feel like that would be amazing. So a product that I tried this month at the very beginning and I have been using pretty much every single day is the e.l.f. Sun Touchable Whoa Glow Sun Protection Makeup Primer. It has 30 SPF and it is just so good. This is really, really great under makeup, or if you're just gonna wear it on its own. It looks like your skin but better. It reminds me of a BB cream, but like in the best way and with sun protection. So I'll just go ahead and swatch it out on my hand just so you guys can see. I probably did way too much, but it does have like this like slight tint to it. It's definitely not like super tan, but it's not a white and it does not leave a white cast. Just to compare, this is the Undefined R&R Sun Serum Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Tinted Mineral Sunscreen Water Resistant. So I got this on my trip, the Creators and Friends trip, and I've been using it, just testing it out. And this has a tint to it, but it is definitely a lot more bronzy. And I'm still using it. I'm still trying it. Like, I can definitely give you guys my full thoughts in the future. I'm kind of neutral on it right now, but I will say that I cannot use this on its own unless I'm putting makeup over it because it is very tan. Oh, actually, I need to mix it a little first before I swatch it for you because it'll come out weird. So if you are someone with more melanin in your skin, this could be a better option because it has a bronzy glow to it and I could see how it'd be really amazing. It just, for me, has to be covered up by makeup or else it just doesn't match my skin. I know I mentioned this recently in a drugstore favorites, but I just had to mention it here as an overall favorites. It's also from an indie brand that's made its way into Target, so I'm obsessed. This is the Thread Cover It Multi-Use Complexion Fluid. I personally use this as a concealer and I have it in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. This is such a beautiful concealer. It looks so pretty underneath the eyes. It has like this like soft glow to it and I feel like it like adds a decent amount of coverage, but it also looks natural and it's just super, super pretty. Unfortunately, it's not what I have underneath my eyes today because like I just made a beeline for Pat McGrath when I was doing my makeup. But I love this. I feel like it's been my go-to everyday concealer and it's also only $8. I've actually been obsessed with this combo. This has been like my everyday face when I'm feeling lazy because it gives me a bit of coverage. It gives me glow. Like these two products together is Your Skin But Better perfected. Next, I have a lippy favorite that I have been reaching for a ton. This is the BK Beauty lipstick in the shade Grace, and this is one of their new shades. It's what I have on right now. I feel like it's just my perfect Your Lips But Better kind of vibes. It's just such a pretty nude, and I feel like it's not pulling too pink. It's not pulling too mauve. Like, I feel like it just looks really, really nice. I've been enjoying it, and I think it's kind of funny because our opinions do change of products over time, but originally, I tried the first 5 BK Beauty lipsticks and I have a review with lip swatches like live on my channel from when they first launched. And I felt like, I think it was 2 of the shades were just really separating on my lips and they reminded me of the Wayne Goss lipstick formula. And I was like, I'm not that big of a fan of the way that the lighter shades separate, but the deeper shades were fine. And so this time around when I did the lip swatches, even the shades that I had issues with before were not separating on my lips. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just because I'm super hydrated or my lips aren't quite as chapped or what's going on, but they are not breaking apart like they did before. I was like, I don't know if you guys are gonna think that I'm like suddenly enjoying a product that I didn't like before, but it's working for me now. I feel like I can take that experience forward in my reviews and say, if you have super dry lips, you might not enjoy these. But I'm not having any issues with texture or anything like that. And Grace is the lightest shade of the entire line, so I'll go ahead and swatch it for you. Honestly, all the new shades are super pretty, but this one just has my heart, honestly. So recently, Odin's Eye came out with 2 eyeshadow palettes. They came out with the Jewels and the Gem and then the Stone and Rock palette. Originally, I thought Jewels and Gem was gonna be my favorite. And then when I was filming my first impression, I was like, no, Stone and Rock, this is everything. But as time has gone on, as I've continued to reach for them off camera since filming my first impression, I keep reaching for Jewel and Gem over and over and over again. And I think it's because there's some really unique matte tones in here that are like kind of like mid-tone, just super easy shades to use, but they have something to them. So here's what it looks like. It is a beautiful palette. Honestly, everything in here is stunning. Quality is amazing. Can't recommend enough. But the matte shades, this one, Seventh Heaven, I really love. It's such a fun, grungy, like little green moment. I've been loving putting that in my outer V. That's what I have on today. I've also done a look with Heaven. on my outer V and called it a day. I've done a look with extra C on my outer V and called it a day, and just been putting different shimmers on the lid. And I know I saw some people kind of disappointed in these, or they thought it was boring from Oden's Eye, but I felt like it actually added something to Oden's Eye's line. This is a really good palette for people who love neutrals but want to have like a little bit of fun with their makeup. And the more I use it, the more I appreciate it. I guess I can just go ahead and swatch those shades for you, my favorites, even though they're mattes. We'll swatch a shimmer too. So there's my two favorite matte shades that I've been going for a lot. And then let's swatch this shade right here called High, because it is so pretty. Look at those. And the mattes are so creamy. Obsessed. So last but not least, this is a palette that's been around for a little bit now, but I've just been reaching for it a ton. And honestly, I feel like if I was going to recommend anything from Adept Cosmetics, it would probably be this palette. I mean, it definitely depends on your personal preference. I have been loving the Minka palette. I feel like the shades in here are just so intense. So there are two mattes. You can definitely do a purple look with this palette, but personally I reach into this mostly just to use one of these shimmers all over the lid, and I'll use mattes from a different palette. I used the shade Minka for a super blown out smoky eye when I was on my trip in Charleston, and I thought it turned out so beautiful. Like, this is one of those palettes that just makes your looks look special and elegant, and like just when you're feeling that extra glam moment. I mean, let's be honest, like I definitely feel glam all the time. It doesn't have to be anything special, but especially for the special times. It's so good. And you do have some really stunning multi-chromes in here as well. I feel like you just get so much bang for your buck with this palette. So I'm gonna swatch Minka for you guys because it is stunning. It is so intense, so sparkly. Like, look at that silver. Let's swatch Selena because it is a multi-chrome and we love multi-chromes. And then let's also do Maya because I really like Maya. Maya's got a little dip going in her. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you joking? That is about to be my thumbnail. That is everything. So sparkly, so good. All right, y'all, so those are all of my May favorites. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.